All right there, guys. Jumping out back into it again with another vlog right away. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to get out because it's supposed to rain today, but no promises on that. Because, we were supposed to get hit with rain and all that. But, it was supposed to start with rain and then turn into snow. But then it changed and whatever, so I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. Looks like a grip for something. So, yeah, like I said, it's supposed to rain. We were supposed to be getting rain turning into snow today. But, oh, shit. Me not realizing that this is actually wet because it's... So I'm gonna have to figure out a different way out. I always took the fucking vlog and those fuckers start acting up. So... nothing really new going on today. Like I said, it's supposed to start raining and then turn into snow. I said, because I got to work on my X-Max. Replace the bearings. I said, well, being that the weather was going to be shitty, because I was going to do it last night. I'm going to walk down to the edge here. Then I'll walk down the path. So I said, because I was originally going to work on my X-Max last night, but then I ended up not doing it because, I did get the dirt a little bit, because I rode on the rubber shit here with my bike, between that, the spinny thing, because this spins, and then that thing there, rode through here and then down. Tire tracks are right here. You can't probably really tell because it's on camera, but they're there. But I said, well, being that the weather's going to be shitty, I could work on that today. But now that I'm out here, I don't really know. I may start on it and see where I get, because I got to replace the outer bearings. On it. But I'm kind of waiting on Dad to finish up the shit on the X-Max, finish up the shit on the crawler, because he bought a TRX4 Sport. So me and Dad both have TRX4s, normal TRX4s that we put the lift kits on, and then we also have the TRX4 High Trail Edition, so they already come with the lift kit. They're the same things as TRX4s, but come from the factory with the lift kit. And Dad bought so then with the TRX4s and the High Trails, they have the high-low, the two-speed transmission that you can switch in and out of high and low, and then you can lock and unlock the diffs for the front and rear. The TRX4s and the TRX4 High Trails are both the same, so you could do that with both. before I bought my K5, my 79 K5 Blazer, TRX4, I had a TRX4 Sport, which is the same thing as the TRX4, but it doesn't have the servos to switch between high and low and lock and unlock the diffs. So they're, I think, in one, obviously you're gonna have one gear for the transmission, and then I think the axles are always gonna be locked. So then both wheels spin. I don't really understand it enough, so I had the Sport, gave that to my brother so that he can get into crawling, so that he can go with me and Dad. So then I bought the K5, the 79 Blazer. And then I said, here, I needed something for my brother. It was either Christmas or my brother's birthday. I said, here's your birthday present and Christmas present for 2 years from me. I didn't wrap it. I just said, here. I threw it on his bed. He's like, what's that? I said, that's your birthday present from me for the next birthday and Christmas present from me for the next 2 fucking years. Because I paid a good a pretty penny for it. I paid I think it was $250 at the time used. It was brand new. It was just the dude's getting out of it. Because it was only, when I bought it, it was only used twice. So that's why I say it was new, because it was only used twice and it wasn't all scratched up. It was really good, good shape. It was clean. So then Dad bought the same fucking truck I gave my brother, the same crawler. Or no, he got it on, I think it was on trade. Because he traded, what was it? Arma... not an infraction, he just sold one. Not a Notorious, that's a stunt truck that Arma makes. He's got one already. Excuse me. It was Arma. It's one of the buggies. My brother's got one. He's an Arma guy. So then he bought whatever it is that's made by Arma for sure. Cleaned it up, put it for sale, fixed some shit that was wrong with it. Put it for sale. Dude wanted it, but was wondering if Dad wanted to trade for a couple of sets of stubby, a couple of sets of Mac stubby ratcheting box end wrenches. Or, they're combination wrenches that are stubby, so some of them are that long. Stubby wrenches, so you got your full length wrenches that are, I'm going to put my phone down here so you can see. So your normal, make sure we're still recording here. So your normal wrenches are probably about this long, depending on the size. Some are, 2 inches, 9 miles long. So then your stubbies, depending on the size, are there, could be that. And combinations wrenches are, if you're not a mechanic, have an open end on one end, so you can slide it onto, if you're in a tight spot. So you just slide it on, loosen it up until you can do it by hand, and bam. And then you got a closed end on the other end, so that's the combination wrench, but then you add a ratcheting mechanism in there, so then it works like a ratchet, if you can't get a ratchet in anywhere, so then that's a plus. So then Dad posted those for sale, traded it for the TRX4 Sport. The TRX4 Sport came with a shit ton of, and I mean, it came with a shit ton of fucking brass. And I mean a shit ton. The bumper mount came with aftermarket bumpers. It came with all the factory takeoffs. So that it came with all the factory takeoffs, all the factory parts. So that Dad kept took all the brass shit off, reverted it back to stock, and put all the brass shit they was keeping on his, because he's got the 79 Blazer, the 79 K5 Blazer, like the one I got. The only difference is that it had the factory steel rally wheels, or his came with the factory rally wheels. And his body was black on red, so the main part of the body was red, and then, he had black accents like the cap, and it had the black stripe, the big wide stripe down the door, or down the center of the body. My body is all black, so it's black on black. Dad's got the rear body, so he's not running that body, he's got a different body. And then, he's putting all the brass in that one. He goes the bumper mount, aftermarket bumpers he's keeping. So then there's the front brass bumper mount, front and rear center diff covers that weigh X amount a piece of, brass. The 4-link / shock mounts, front and rear, I said it last night, I'm having to draw a blank here. It's not the idle or arm, that's for your steering. Not Pitman arm, that's on normally your steering box, or in this case, servo. It's the bar. It's almost like a drag leg. But it's a bar to keep the axle centered underneath the truck. They'll work with the 4-link. I think it's like an Hartman bar, whatever it's called. So that's on one of the mounts for the front axle. So that's the 4-link / shock mounts for the front axle, front rear diff covers, and then the portals and knuckles. So the knuckle part that mounts on the axle, and then the portals mount to that knuckle. So he's got a shit ton of brass in the front to help get some weight in the front. So now I think he might, when he can, get the rear portals, put some weight in the rear. So I'm going to be right there too, rebuilding my axles, because he had to rebuild his, because his axles were making noise, and I'm sure mine are right fucking there. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here, and I'll see you guys on the next video.